Hi everyone, my name is Elena.
And hi everyone, my name is Sarah. We are group 2 and we are going to presenting our heart tube model today. By day 21st, embryo undergoes lateral folding and two endocardial tubes have fused to form a single heart tube. This is our heart model, the straight heart tube before looping. This is the arterial end and this is the venous end. This is the cephalic end and also this is the caudal end. This is the aortic sinus at the cephalic end. The aortic sinus is attached to 6 pairs of aortic arches leading to the dorsal aorta. The next structure is aortic sac, which attaches to the truncus arteriosus. The truncus arteriosus attaches to the bulbus cordus. The cephalic end of bulbus cordus is called conus cordus. The bulbus cordus attaches to the primitive ventricle, and primitive ventricle attaches to primitive atrium. The primitive atrium is attached to the sinus venosus at the bottom, which has the right and left horn. Now I'm going to talk about the anchoring. The heart tube is anchored in 2 areas, cephalic end and caudal end. The cephalic end is connected to the arterial system with the aortic sinus that connects to aortic arches and then connects to dorsal aorta. The caudal end is connected to the venous system through the sinus venosus that has the left and right horn, each with pairs of vitelline, umbilical, and cranial veins.
The bulbus cordus and the primitive ventricle grow the fastest. This is the bulbus cordus, this is the primitive ventricle. As they grow, the heart tube loops by bending to the right of the midline. Now I will demonstrate heart tube looping. So the bulbus cordus is going to go to the right along with the primitive ventricle. And as it happens, they are growing as well. Now, the primitive ventricle is more to the left of the bulbus cordus since it will form the future left ventricle. The primitive atrium moves posteriorly and superiorly. The sinus venosus grows a little but remains mostly the same, fixed at the bottom. This heart is now a looped heart. In the anterior view, this is the bulboventricular loop. In the anterior view, this is the bulboventricular loop. The bulbus cordus will be the site of the future right ventricle. The primitive ventricle, which is now also towards the right, but more to the left of the bulbus cordus, is the site of the future left ventricle. Now, if we look at the side view, we can see that the primitive atrium has moved posteriorly and superiorly. The sinus venosus is still inferior. Looking at the posterior view, we can see that the primitive atrium is at the posterior aspect and is positioned superiorly to the primitive ventricle. Now let's talk about blood flow through the looped heart. Blood from the embryo will enter from the caudal end through the paired veins into the right and left horns of the sinus venosus. This blood will then flow through the sinoatrial junction, located here, into the primitive atria. From the primitive atria, blood will flow through the atrioventricular canal, located here, into the primitive ventricle. So it's flowing more towards the left. Then the blood will go through the bulboventricular foramen, located here, into the bulbus cordis, which is more on the right side. And from the bulbus cordis, the blood will finally pass through the conus cordis, located up here, into the truncus arteriosus, through the aortic sac, and out of the 6 pairs of arteries to be dispersed to the embryo.